Let's bring in Cornbread Maxwell, Celtics radio analyst and former MVP in the 1981 NBA Finals. All right, Cedric. How do you explain the Celtics are down 2-0 and heading to New York on Saturday?
Didn't shoot the ball well. It was very simple and didn't execute. Early in the basketball game, the first two games, they shot the ball well, they executed, and then they got executed in those second halves. They didn't play with any ferocity. They didn't play any defense. And the Knicks the Knicks deserved to win. And then I thought I thought people were obnoxious in LA when I thought about the Laker fans. They got nothing on the Knicks fans. They got nothing. I have gone to another height of hatred now. Oh my God.
Oh boy. Wait till Saturday night. Wait till Saturday.
No, wait till they lose Saturday night. That's what you're gonna say.
Now, a lot of analysts, you got a lot of experts saying the Celtics need to change. You're not making threes, go inside, get to the free throw line. Can they change? And do you buy into that offensive philosophy when you're not shooting well from three-point range to change it up?
Well, Dan, I was old school, so we played in the paint with Bird, McHale, Parrish, those guys. We played in the paint. But I'll put it this way: when you went to the prom and you went with your pretty girlfriend, did you change and see another girl and you went home with the other one? No, you stayed the course and you did what you normally do. You stayed with. And Joe Mazzulla believes that his team is going to shoot better. They can't shoot as poorly as they have in these two halves and lose the basketball game again.
Is Jayson Tatum, in your mind, a top 5 player?
Yes, he is. And then I ask you one of these questions. We're talking about one of the greatest power forwards of all time, Kevin McHale. Do you know how many points he averaged in the championship game championship series against the Houston Rockets in 1981? Can you take a guess?
10 points.
4 points. So what I'm saying by that is the others have to do better. You got to if Tatum isn't shooting the ball well, Brown has to step up. The year that Larry Bird had in 1981, he averaged 13 points, 15 points, but he averaged 15 rebounds. So other people have to do other things to step up and make it easier for Tatum when he's not shooting the ball well.
So, okay, let's run down the list here. If he's in the top 5. So,
okay.
Joker.
Okay.
SGA.
Yes.
Do you put Luka top 5?
No. No.
Anthony Edwards?
I wouldn't put him before Tatum.
Giannis?
Up and down. I think he had I think Jayson Tatum had a better year than Giannis. So, if you go, then there's no clear cut. So
No. Giannis, I'd put Giannis over Tatum.
Yeah. Oh, so you can't tell. All right. You said Giannis over Tatum. Where else you going with that?
I'd probably still put Luka there.
I wouldn't put Luka there. No, Luka doesn't play enough defense. And this is why I have to believe in the great Kendrick Perkins. He said Luka might be the best superstar non-defensive player in the history of basketball. He can score you points, but he gives them up in bunches. So I can't go that way. I love his greatness on the offensive end, but not on the defensive end.
But you know what? We pick and choose with that. Because did anybody ever go, man, Magic Johnson, what a defender? No one ever said anything about Magic's defense. Bird was not a good defender. Barkley said, as long as Larry's on the floor, there's always somebody who's worse on defense than him.
Well, let me say this then, Dan. Do you know that Larry Bird made all defensive teams several times?
Yeah, but because he came up with steals, he played the passing lanes. He couldn't guard. He wasn't guarding you. Come on, you probably torched him in practice.
So you're talking about guys who are great on both ends of the floor, and this is what I love about Tatum. Tatum has been a hell of a defender, and he's also been a great rebounder. What he didn't do in these last couple of games, he didn't shoot the ball well, and normally Jaylen Brown is able to pick him up or Porzingis, but whatever this is that's going on with Porzingis hasn't really let it happen.
The Knicks haven't played great, though, I think everybody keeps focusing on Boston hasn't played their game. The Knicks haven't played great. I mean, to be down by 20 points in two consecutive games, I think they have patience, and they're kind of like the puncher who's going to take 3 punches and give you 1 in return.
That might be true. And I think the thing is Josh Hart has played extremely well. He's been the key to what he had 23 points.
Yeah.
You're going to get something from Karl Anthony Towns. You're going to have to give up something from Brunson. But when you have him scoring the way, and then Bridges, who really has disappeared, all the Knicks were complaining about, we gave these draft choices. He showed up last night and scored the basketball. So in different ways, the Knicks have played very effective basketball in the second half, but also in the second halves of these games, the Celtics have collapsed.
All right, what has to happen on Saturday night? Right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate, be aggressive. Take the ball.
Shooting threes? Are we shooting threes?
You're still going to shoot threes. You're
Okay.
still going to shoot. You're still going to shoot your threes, but you're going to be a little bit more aggressive about taking the ball to the paint. One thing the Celtics did extremely well was when you saw Drew Holiday take Brunson in the paint and score on him repeatedly.
Yeah.
That's one of the keys that you have to do to occupy a great score. What you have to do is attack him on his defensive end.
You, I think, made 1 3-pointer in your career.
Yes, I did.
You remember that one?
I do. It was in Houston, and in that game, only 4 3-pointers were taken in that particular game. So as you like to say, what's your point there, Dan? What's your point? I love you, but what's your point?
If Bird played now, how many 3-pointers is he allowed to take?
14, 15. And I talked to a guy who was like that, Antoine Walker. Every time he lined up to take a 3 when he's with the Celtics early in his career, people started booing him. I talked to him about a couple of weeks ago. He said, man, they would have cheered me for what I'm doing right now, taking 3s. So the game has changed. Steph Curry did one thing. He changed the game in the way almost no other player has done, making the 3-pointer. I talked to his dad, and I asked his dad, I said, your son's destroyed the game the way I loved it. He said, yeah, there are a lot of 3-point takers, but there are not a lot of 3-point makers.
Yeah, there are guys who shoot threes. There are guys who make threes. There's a big difference in that. Everybody thinks they can make a 3.
Dan, when you go to any local gym or you go outside, the first thing a guy does, he couldn't hit it inside. First thing he does is line up and try to take a 3. So people have been programmed now that the game has changed. It is during the time I played, when they played the Rockets in 1981 in the championship series, there were like in the championship game, I think there were 5 threes attempted for the entire game. Wow. Now 5 threes are attempted in the first 2 minutes.
Have fun in New York. Be prepared. They're waiting for you.
I cannot wait. Dan, I thought I hated the Laker fans, but, man, they've gone down the pig right now. Knicks suck. That's all I'm saying.
Why don't you wear your old Celtics jersey to the game?
Dan, because I'm old school, Dan. What do I need? Well, you want to beat up a 70-year-old man? Well, you shouldn't have done that. Dan, I heard you were born in 56?
Yeah.
I was born in 1955. Come on, give me a break.
Good to talk to you.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Thank you, Cornbread.